You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming, and Sunny Mountains Word of the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Tian Wei. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. I really thought you were going to do this by yourself. I'm just afraid of missing some valuable inspiration, that's all. Throughout the journey, we walked side by side around the lake, as Mosiah led his horse while petting at time, pacifying the horse's wild need to run off. Whereas I tried to boil up some brand new ideas and find a new creation pathway. Screw it, my head's blank. I turned and looked at Mosiah's horse and just remembered that there were no stalls in Tian Wei and asked him with some curiosity, where did this horse come from? I remember there's no stalls in the compound at all. A temporary rental. Helps with the jobs for this afternoon. I see. Then were you out this afternoon to pick up those components? You saw. Not really. There were other jobs I needed to take care of. But all are done, though. Why do you need so many parts for? What do you need so many... It says, why do you need so many parts for? Doesn't look like anything for crafts. My last weapon broke in a recent mission, so I need to build a new one, which is why I needed highly precise materials and components. Even if a slight mismatch is in the component, the performance of the weapon would greatly decrease as well. How strict. Truly like you. Hey! Yes! You two gentlemen over there! Just then I heard a call from the pavilion, and next to the pavilion parked a couple of scenery rowing boats. And the one who was calling us over was the rental owner. Hello, little brother. Do you want to row a boat? Today's scenery rowing is half price for double-seater. Boat rowing. The scenery of the lake is nice, plus the comforting weather. It makes a good day for boat rowing and playing around. Thinking of this, a flash shone in my eyes, only to darken upon seeing the price on the sign next by. Since what happened in the alleyway, I haven't gotten a single coin on me, and I quickly refuted any thought in boat rowing. You know, water time. You want to? Never mind. It seems a little pricey anyway. Don't you think it's a good way to brew up some inspiration by rowing in the lake? I know, but I don't have any money on me, so I might as well wait until next month's wage. Who's the one creating novels, you or me? Can't you just have some care for what you want to do? I just don't want to owe you guys so much favor, that's all. Boss, one double-seater. Alrighty, here, gentlemen. Wait, Mosiah, how can you... What are you waiting for? Quicker on the act doesn't waste any more time. Because if you linger, there one more microsecond while I row the boat away, you might as well swim after me. This prick! He knows I can't swim. Besides, I'm doing my job as the host, so don't have any weird thoughts or link with that overthinking brain of yours. Fine. Mosiah walked up to the boss, and after a brief barter, paid the money, and led the horse over, telling me, pick a boat over there. I'm tying the horse up. Okay. I walked to the parked double-seater boats, and saw all kinds of colorful boats, each having a figurehead of an origin species carved in it, and matching the color of the hull, like the swan matching the white hull, or the duck matching the yellow hull. These are all so cute, but which one do I choose? If I choose anything cute, I might get scolded by Mosiah, but anything simple would make me feel bored. Fine. Since I'm here for inspiration and Mosiah said any is fine, I should follow my heart then. Finished picking? After tying the horse to the spot, Mosiah walked to me leisurely. Done. This one then. What in the unholy Christ? That thing looks horrifying. Jesus. Dun-dun. Yeah, he does not look pleased. This boat's cute, right? A white little swan. With a scrunched-up face, creased brows, and a deep breath, Mosiah did his utmost in controlling his almost erupting rage and shoving them to the bottom of his heart. I have no words about your artistic appreciation. What? The swan boat is the best looking out of all the boats. Yes. We sat at the head and tail of the boat and slowly rowed over to the center of the lake, our oars paddling over the lake. Mosiah, seemingly impatient in his behavior, still maintained a relatively calm demeanor in rowing with me, whereas I, interested in exploring my inspiration, had a target set up. Besides, if we're going into the midst of the swan flock, then we must be the one with them. I call this tactical camouflage. Do you really think a shoddy camouflage like this would trick them? Mosiah, look! The swans! Over there! Oh, 1 second. Right! Let us just row over there slowly and don't scare them. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go! SS White Swan! If you can use this excessive imagination in your work, then you'd be famous very soon. Right? I got just an idea. Maybe I could write a passionate adventure story about some men of the sea, and the protagonist ship could be called the SS White Swan. How does that sound? I looked at Mosiah with anticipation, hoping he would give me feedback on my thoughts. Average. And to no one's surprise, doused by cold water. Any other suggestions? Like, maybe the characters are pirates, or maybe a fisherman, or do you think this idea is good or bad? Something like this. This is your work. Shouldn't it be your decision to make? Right, I shouldn't hold any expectation of these things, but perhaps him not scolding me is already a compliment by itself. Huh, now let us head towards the lair of the swans. To the reed bush, then. Why are you obsessed over a few geese? Well, when I saw them on the shore, I thought those swans looked graceful, especially with those snow-white wings of theirs, don't you think? All birds can fly. What's so special about it? You seriously have not a single thread of romanticism appreciation within. Could you please repeat that? Nothing at all. Be careful of falling into the water and end up becoming a wet dog. Not happening. Isaiah and I sat on the SS White Swan, slowly paddling our way towards the habitat of the swans at the center of the lake. According to my deduction, SS White Swan served as the perfect disguise, and if we rowed slowly towards them, the swans won't be too scared at all. Slowly, we rolled into the flock of swans, and as I predicted, the swans didn't fly away upon our arrival. Rather mistakenly treated our boat as the same kind and began flying towards us. See? I told you so, the disguise is a success! Completely unbelievable to think that imperfect disguise like this could even work. Don't say that. See? They're treating the boat as another one of them, and all are flying here. It just proves these geese are as dumb as you. With their flapping wings, they flew on our boat. As snow-white feathers began floating down gently on our boat, some landed on Mosiah's head and stuck out in his thick white hair. Not a single bit out of place, rather the perfect decoration, you could say. And seeing Mosiah covered in swan feathers, I couldn't resist a snicker. Heh! Don't stare and smile at me dumbly. I'm not, it's just your hair has a few feathers sticking out of it. Quite suitable, you know. Suitable? I mean, a little messy, it's that... Ugh, said the wrong thing again. Upon hearing my words, my face twitched and with a sigh I began roughly and violently digging through his hair. I pulled out several feathers from his hair before tossing them into the lake. What's wrong with this goose? So many feathers. Are they seeking a death in a pot? Then Mosiah turned, his face uneasily staring at me. Even though his look had a bit of comedically effect, I didn't dare say a word, and only sat on my seat submissively, muttering, "Actually, you still have some in the back of your head." He is not fucking happy about that shit. Still have some? You just sit tight. Let me pull them out for you. No need. You sit tight. He raised his hand and began digging through the back of his mane. But as he dug for the fluff, the more it burrowed deeper into his mane. With someone as sensitive as him, Mosiah's expression became more and more contorted. Damn it, can't get it out. Seems like Mosiah's compulsive disorder is acting up again. Maybe I should help. Just turn over. Sit. You're clumsy. What happens if the boat flips? No problem. I can be careful. I stood slowly, edging towards Mosiah. I did my best balancing my body weight, ensuring the boat remained at a stable position, while remaining cautious and fearful within. If something did happen, the consequence would be unimaginable. Slowly, slowly. Even if I did end up a wet dog, then even if I didn't drown, I would be roasted alive in Mosiah's scolding. Mosiah, turn your head just a little over. What a bother. If you have the strength to do this, you might as well spend it on brewing your new work. Even though reluctant, he's far more apprehensive having swan fluff stuck in his hair, and the blue dragon turned his head over. And with a slow extending hand, I reached for the fluff on the back of Mosiah's head, fearing of capsizing the boat. It's finally off. Seeing the feather in his hand, his expression relaxed, and he took a long exhale. Get back to your seat if you're done. Fine, fine. I took a tentative small step back and failed to notice the big swan behind me. It sounds like bat wing. This sounds like bats flying. Whatever audio track they're using. With my little movement, scared, the swan began flapping its wings in a violent wave, and I bumped into its flapping wings, scaring me, dividing my attention. What? Where did you come from? Tex. Oh. I lost balance at the sole of my feet, and seeing myself almost fell into the lake uncontrollably, when Mosiah suddenly rushed over and grabbed my hand. With a violent shake from the boat, the surrounding swans got scared and flew away, honking and flapping. With the wave of shocked swans soaring towards the air, feathers after feathers brightening white under the sun, floated all around the two of us. As Mosiah grasped my hand, his red iris turned pure blue all of a sudden, and the rolling lake surface stood to a standstill. Sorry. Are you an idiot? Do you even know what's next to your feet? Be careful of your surroundings if you can't swim. A panicked tone in his voice. I could only apologize profusely to him. He tugged tightly on my arm, and in a moment felt a jolt of pain from his grab. I'm fine. You can let go now. Your strength is too big. It kind of hurts when you hold my arm like that. You lack training. Just a little strength like this and it hurts. Who would be as rough as you? If you feel annoyed that I'm being too forceful, then you better be careful of yourself next time. Bumbling about like that? Do you really want to end up as a wet dog? Sorry! My fault. Mosiah released me, giving me the cold shoulder. I readjusted myself in balancing and sat on one end of the boat, and began picking up my oars and began rowing. After Mosiah's barrage of lectures, I had some guilt lingering in my heart. Still a little rash, but I feel culprit as the swan behind me. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for it behind. I wouldn't have. Curses! If I ever catch it, I'm gonna roast it into a rotisserie goose. Wait, how do I know how to roast a goose? Maybe I should ask Chen Hu to do it. Where do you want to row to next? Eh? Where to what to? Why's your brain half a beat slower? Damage it somewhere? No, just thinking of something. Don't linger over what just happened, because if you did fall, I'd be troubled. And I helped because of having the spirit of virtue and being a senior of the same organization. Ah, this guy is really... We shall have some time to continue about. Say, where do you want to go next? I looked around the lake scenery and planned out the next few destinations I wanted to see. Right. Let's go to the pavilion there. Good. As we talked, we began to row the oars once more, aiming for the little pavilion not so far away. This time our synchronization was much better and made entire rowing much easier, and speed increased too. Soon we arrived near the pavilion, and surrounding the floating structure are some lotus leaves and pods. Since the season wasn't summer yet, there were no signs of lotus yet. And in the pavilion above, a couple of kids were playing about, and, seemingly interested by our white swan boat, began approaching the railings and looking at the strange new thing here. Must be beautiful here when it's summer, right? So many lotus pods and leaves here. Be a gorgeous sight when all the lotus blooms. Decent. You'd feel it's normal after seeing it a couple of times. We don't have these flowers in our homeland. I've read about them in text, and it was described that lotus is an unblemished flower risen from the earth and untouched by the foulness. If I have the chance, I have to see it with my own eyes. June's a perfect time. There's a lantern festival around the lake, and every year Tian Wei would come to join the lantern festival. We will take you here for some trips in the future. Really? That's great! Don't be overexcited. I won't save you again if the boat capsizes. Speaking of, where do you want to go to next? How about we go to the bottom of that bridge there? I feel there's probably something beautiful there when we see the reflection of the light from there. For the next moments, Mosiah and I rowed the boat within the lake. We passed under the arched bridge, and seeing the waves of light from the holes by the railings, new inspiration sprung from my mind. After we rowed around the lake, enjoying the lake scenery throughout, but soon time passed even quicker than we realized, and suddenly it was time to return to the boat. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!